Hi, guys. Today we are talking about what you need to do to buy your next property in the next 6 months and being buy ready. So, this is for people who might be thinking that you want to buy your first or next investment property or home in the next 6 months and just thinking what steps do you need to take given there's a bit of market uncertainty. It's hard to know, right? So, you might be just in that thought process to make sure that you're actually ready to take action.
That's right. So I know many people may be sitting on the sidelines right now and watching the market and maybe thinking that, down the track, there might be a few more opportunities depending on how you view the market. Obviously, there's opportunities in all markets. So you're watching it at any point in time and you plan on executing this in a 6-month time frame. So this is also for you to listen in on. If you plan on buying in 6 months, what steps do you need to take to be buy ready to be able to make it happen? Because it's not overnight that you just go and buy a property. There needs to be a bit of a plan around it. But for those actually watching in the current climate and those who may be thinking, well, we'll wait 6 months or we'll start the process in 6 months, you just need to know that in terms of the way markets operate, there's never really a bell that goes ding, 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 buy now. So you won't be saved by the bell ringing for you to take action. And this is actually backed by facts. So as you may be aware, Prime Minister of Australia and India, they have actually signed a bilateral migration agreement and mobility partnership agreement. And, Australia will actually be welcoming highly skilled professionals here and families, which will be driving demand significantly for dwellings. So obviously, firstly, credit to them. From the moment they land, they may be having 6-figure incomes and they will actually come with solid borrowing capacity because they may not have any borrowings whatsoever. So they'd be primed to start their property portfolios or even buy their first home.
Well, it is a historic agreement between two countries. Australia's never seen anything like this, and it presents a really unique opportunity in our lifetimes with property investors and homeowners to reap the rewards with the growth that will be turbocharged as a result of this migration, because the federal government is projecting around like 1.5 million migrants in the next 40 something months who will land in Australia by June 2027, and a total population growth of 2.18 million in the same time frame, including the migrants. And guys, look, this is not far. Time flies. This sustained growth in population over this time period. So either you're in the market or you're not. And most people miss that market waiting for that perfect time and think they'll be able to time the market when in fact it's really your time in the market that you're spending that gets you the growth. So what do you do really to be ready for that to happen?
So obviously looking at some stat and all, like macro business, for example, they reported recently that Australia will actually need to have build 329 new homes every single day just for the migrants. It's quite a significant amount of home to accommodate this population increase. 329 new homes, that's substantial. And what is the likelihood of Australia actually achieving this target of homes? We have increased material costs in terms of construction costs have risen quite significantly over the last few years with inflation, and the financing costs have also gone up. So obviously there's a shortage, right? If we can't achieve this target, property prices may not pull back as you're expecting them to, or you may be anticipating them to. So there will be a massive shortage, and property price may hold up. Potentially there might be double-digit offers on each homes, and that's what we're finding in some affordable markets in Australia, where at any one point in time there's 30 people who show up in an open home in the current climate. I know part of it is function of shortage in stock, but just obviously future pacing this, when there's more people, how much competition do you foresee happening? So demand is expected to keep outstripping supply over time. And, some people might be sitting on the sidelines and waiting for that bell to ring, or they might be expecting that the market will bottom out at a certain point in time. If you are one of those people, then we would encourage you to obviously think about whether it's the right way of thinking that you have. As Warren Buffett says, be greedy, when others are fearful and be fearful when others are greedy. And that's what we have seen with some of our clients who have taken action when nobody actually wanted to take action, and it's paid off in, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you don't necessarily
So,
want to be missing out on the growth.
and going back to your point, right? Nobody's going to come to you and ring a bell that, now is the time. So what steps do you really need to take, or what you need to do to make sure that you are buy ready and ready to take action? So what we find is many people believe that, finance is an afterthought. You need to think about the property, or finance is the easy part of the equation and you can just think of it on the spot and go for it. When in fact, it needs to be driven by making sure that your ducks are lined up, because what you're able to do today, you may not be able to do in 6 months. Just taking the right steps, because a lot is involved in this process. You need to start thinking of this right now. But what's involved in finance? One, reviewing your current ownership. If you already own a property, making sure that you have the valuation sorted to determine how much equity you have available. So sometimes people think that, oh, you have to go bank to bank and get this valuation. No, we as our clients, mortgage brokers, plan that strategy upfront, where we do the valuations upfront and make sure our clients are positioned to maximize what they are able to do. You need to consider if you're thinking of using your cash savings, so you may not have sufficient equity. So make sure that you do it with best practice with how credit should be structured. Then review your overall borrowing capacity and see what's possible for you. And make sure that you secure your pre-approval ahead of time. Securing that pre-approval may be a series of steps, right? Especially if you own an existing property, and there's time investment, there's strategy involved. And if you start today, you can really set yourself up. Like I have had clients where we've tapped into the equity a couple of 100,000. That's what they could do right now, but we'll revisit in 6 months what they're able to do at that point. So make sure that you are set up to actually take action at that point.
So effectively, to sum it up, the process is time consuming, strategy is time consuming, but many people treat finance like a transaction and they think I'll sort it out when I'm ready. But it doesn't work that way. You can't just do it overnight, especially if you already have property in your portfolio, or if you already own your home. If you didn't own anything, then yeah, sure, it may be relatively straightforward. But if you already own, it's not a matter of like you just go and start putting offers. It's a series of steps that Sana went through. I'll use an example. So one of my clients are looking to buy a home. They're upgrading and they have 2 properties already in their portfolio. And with their portfolio, we've had to do some research around their specific circumstances as to where they're able to tap into the equity, because they need to tap into the equity and then they'll be able to put offers in their home. And lenders obviously have varying borrowing capacity, and we go to lenders in a specific order. So until and unless they refinance, we can't go to the lender where they actually service for their future home. And this thing obviously has taken a number of weeks to come up with, because we've needed valuations of their properties. We've had to come up with a strategy and review the numbers. And at the same time, the clients have had some certain change in circumstances, change in jobs. So we've had to navigate that also. So again, that's why you need to line up your ducks for when you're actually ready to start putting offers. Don't think of it like, well, I'm going to start next week or next month and that's it. But you need to start thinking about it and be in a position to be able to start putting offers whenever the time is. Key takeaways, I would say that, you need to make sure that your finance is set up upfront. So, when the time actually comes to go shopping for your investment property or your first home purchase or even your home upgrade, you start the process in the lead up to that time. Don't leave it to the last minute. Know that your finance is set up correctly and know when you'd be ready to make the purchase. And, this process may also highlight things that you are not privy of that are quite specific about your circumstances. And you may need to spend the 6 months getting ready to buy that property so that you're not blindsided by the results. Make sure you get the advice and know where you're heading effectively.
So guys, if you're looking to do this correctly and be ready to take action, make sure that you schedule a time with the team. Sarah will be popping in the link. Our team are able to review this for you, and then we can go through it together as to what the possibilities are for you personally. Mona or I, we catch up with every single client one-on-one. We don't just hand it over to a team to just, do the numbers and lodge any application. So you get FaceTime with both of us to run through your strategy, go through the numbers, what are the possibilities for you as an individual, and what pathway you have moving forward. So the link is meetme.so/property twins. That's meetme.so/property twins. And again, in comments, let us know, are you thinking of doing this in the next 6 months? We're looking forward to hearing, and if you have any questions.
Yeah, also, I guess I'd just like to add, right, that in terms of the finance strategies that we do, it's not cookie cutter. It's not one size fits all approach. It's very, very specific and very personalized because it has to meet your goals and your needs. It just can't be like a solution just because there's an incentive to move to a particular bank. It's like, how does it fit into your strategy and your goals overall? Yeah, look forward to speaking to you soon, and take
Thanks, guys.
care.
Bye.